Hey there, YouTubers, it's Don from trueCABLE coming back at you again, this time to talk about our shielded toolless patch panel. This is a 24-port patch panel, and it's extremely versatile for organizing your cable. So a lot of people have a question, what exactly is a patch panel and where does it get used? A patch panel is something that you use to organize all of your Ethernet cable where your switch gear is mounted. Let's say inside of a telecommunications room. Taking a look here, you can see that we've got cable coming down through a pipe and it's being put into a service loop, which is slack, and then it's coming into the back of a patch panel. And then there's patch cords that are patching from the patch panel into a switch. So essentially that's what patch panels do. And patch panels are on the head end of your installation. That's where all of your gear is at. And like an octopus, it radiates outward and onto various runs that terminate into like wall jacks, like in your walls, like behind me. So it's a way of organizing your cable. It can increase performance, it keeps you organized, and it offers flexibility. So let's take a look at this and see what we got. All right, so inside of our shielded toolless patch panel, we've got a set of easy to follow instructions, not much to them. And then we've got the panel itself. And this is the actual panel where the keystones mount. There's 24 ports. There's a bond wire here for bonding to ground. We'll talk about that in a moment. And then there is a cable manager. And that is an item that snaps into the rear of your patch panel. It folds out like so, and then it snaps, and then it gives you places to secure down your cable runs. So there's some cutouts here where you can use zip ties to secure your cables, and then when it's running into the back of your patch panel, it keeps your cabling organized and it's not easy to accidentally jostle or pull out. Let's talk a little bit more about what this patch panel is designed to handle and its best use application. Essentially, this patch panel will accept any high density keystone jack, which means it could accept keystone couplers. The other thing is it takes multimedia AV keystones like HDMI, USB, RCA, BNC, all of those various types of cabling that you may have coming in the back, even fiber, will snap in just fine. Blank keystone inserts will insert just fine. So it's very standard in design. It just happens to be shielded. So apart from like the AV part of it, like Ethernet, let's talk about speed and what kind of categories and bandwidths you should use with this patch panel. So the patch panel is category agnostic, which means that it doesn't care what category you put in it. It's not going to throw up in a little arm and say, no, you can't do that. But you're going to have more success with certain types of bandwidths than with others because of the way that the ports are designed. They're all lined up like little soldiers. So when it comes to bandwidth that is below 5 gigabit, whether it's shielded or unshielded, it'll work great in this patch panel. When you start talking about Cat6a, pushing 10 gigabit speeds, now you've got crosstalk at the patch panel called alien crosstalk, and it's emanating around the keystone. And so these ports are a little too close together, so you should not use category 6A keystone, unshielded keystones with unshielded cable in this panel if you intend to push it to 5 or 10 gigabit, because you'll have a lot of alien crosstalk going on. We have another patch panel that's scientifically engineered to handle high-speed unshielded cabling. That's our 3D stagger panel. That's on another video. So short of category 6A, unshielded, you can run basically anything in here that you like. It's extremely easy to work with. If you want to dismount keystones, it's got these little cutouts here, rectangular cutouts, where you can insert a screwdriver to depress the top tab, makes getting keystones out of here easy. And at the same time, we have an accessory, and I'm going to give you a little sneak peek here. It's going to be in another video, but we have our new TruePlug accessory. So basically what you can do with this is you can dismount, unscrew it a couple of turns and take off the default bond wire that comes with this thing. And you can attach a 6-foot extension adapter, which goes to a 3-prong plug. And that 3-prong plug gives you 6 feet of additional reach, and now you can bond your patch panel to an AC outlet. And if you didn't have this particular accessory, you would be in a situation where you would need a formal bonding infrastructure, an actual bus bar like mounted on your rack that you could reach with this, a secondary bus bar, so something that's geared more towards like floor standing racks. It is possible, and like if your rack is bonded somehow, you could bond this conductor to the rack itself. Once you scrape off the paint, that's okay to do. But if you're in a residential situation or a small business situation, it's extremely convenient to have 6 feet of reach to an AC outlet to properly bond your patch panel to ground. And that's something that I went through, and I had myself a situation where I had a shielded patch panel, shielded runs, and no way to bond it to ground. I had to jury rig something up, so now we've created an actual accessory. Watch out for that video, it's coming, and it's an important accessory to this patch panel for anybody without a formal bonding infrastructure. And you don't have to mount this into a 19-inch wide rack, which this is meant for, 19-inch wide rack mount with 4 screws. You can actually mount this into a wall bracket, which kind of simulates a rack. You could mount this practically any position you like. It doesn't have to be a big rack or anything like that. So you could use this residentially with no problem. I've done it. So I think that pretty well covers the introduction to this thing. So I think we should probably talk about actually installing it and show you how this all works. We're going to be right back, and we're going to have screwdrivers and walls and all kinds of stuff. Be right back. Don't go away.